going on, everybody? Joseph Hadid here for Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news, your local community. Good morning, sports family. Thank you for tuning in to Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. It is Friday, October 27, 2023. Your host, Joseph Hadid. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, happy Halloween. And it is TGIF. Ready for this upcoming weekend as we end the work week and the school week on another week in the books. And ladies and gentlemen, speaking of Halloween, we got a little bit of tricks and treats for you to cover on what transpired in sports this past week. And we have the latest. Let's get right to it, folks. We're going to start off with some NBA news as the NBA regular season started this past Tuesday. And we're going to start off with Jonathan Isaac, ladies and gentlemen, who details his decision to stand during the national anthem in the NBA's Orlando bubble. Orlando Magic forward Jonathan Isaac is preparing for the start of the 2023-2024 NBA season. His seventh since being drafted 6th overall in the 2017 NBA draft. His NBA career has been anything but easy. Isaac has dealt with a major knee injury, forcing him to sit out 2 seasons, again from the year 2020 all the way to the year 2022. Isaac, now healthy, has also dealt with challenges away from the court, making headlines for his decision to stand during the national anthem in the NBA's Orlando bubble, and publicly defending his decision not to get a COVID-19 vaccine. The NBA bubble in Orlando opened in July of 2020, just over a month after the death of Floyd. Most players from all teams in the bubble knelt during the national anthem. Isaac, on the other hand, chose to stand and gained national attention for doing so. Let's shift over to some NHL hockey news, ladies and gentlemen. The NHL drops a ban on the rainbow-colored Pride hockey stick tape. The league sent a memo 2 weeks ago stating players could not use rainbow LGBT Pride tape on their hockey sticks. Some players had continued to use the tape despite the rule. The NHL said on Tuesday this past week, players would now have the option to voluntarily represent social causes with their stick tape throughout the season. The league said it spoke with the NHL Players Association and the NHL Player in Conclusion Coalition before making the decision. It had first established in June that its franchise teams would no longer be allowed to wear custom jerseys during pre-game warm-ups and also during theme nights, which highlight social causes such as support for the LGBT community or the military. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, more NHL news to follow here. Ottawa's Shane Pinto, ladies and gentlemen, has been suspended 41 games, becomes the first modern NHL player banned for gambling. Let's get right to it. The NHL suspended Ottawa Senators forward Shane Pinto for 41 games yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, making the 22-year-old American the first modern-day hockey player banned for sports gambling. The league said the half-season ban was for activities relating to sports wagering, and that its investigation found no evidence that Pinto bet on NHL games. In his quotes, he wants to apologize to the National Hockey League, the Ottawa Senators, my teammates, the fans, and the city of Ottawa, and most importantly, my family. Pinto said in his statement released by the team, he takes full responsibility for his actions and he looks forward to getting back on the ice with his teammates. The NHL Players Association was not expected to appeal the suspension. The league said it considers the matter closed, bearing any new information in this case. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's shift over to some National Football League. Let's shift over to some National Football League news, ladies and gentlemen. Derrick Henry, Chase Young, and Brian Burns are among several star NFL players who could be on the move. The best team in the NFC already added an All-Pro to the secondary, and that's, ladies and gentlemen, none other than the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to get right to that shortly here. More moves are coming around the NFL. Teams looking to bolster their rosters for the second half have until Tuesday's trade deadline at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Several established veterans could end up switching uniforms. And there was a slew of trades at this time last season. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak, couldn't wait to upgrade at safety, acquiring two-time All-Pro Kevin Byrd from the Tennessee Titans earlier this week. Byrd is a significant addition at the position that was depleted by injury for this past upcoming season in the first half for the Philadelphia Eagles, and the departure of C.J. Gardner-Johnson in free agency, who went to Detroit Lions and is also out with an injury as we speak. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's shift over to some Major League Baseball news. Ladies and gentlemen, Dusty Baker, the manager for the Houston Astros, has announced his retirement. Dusty retires as the 7th winning manager in history. Wearing his 2022 World Series championship ring and his familiar smile, Dusty Baker spoke fondly about his 4 years in Houston, while turning his attention to the next chapter of his remarkable baseball life. At 74 years old, he feels he has more to give the game and society, but his time in a major league uniform is over after more than 50 years. Baker, who came out of retirement in 2020 and led the Astros to 2 trips to the World Series, including his first championship as a manager in 2022, announced his retirement Thursday at Minute Maid Park. He said he wants to remain involved in the game, but will return home to California to spend time with his family, which includes a pair of grandkids. So with that being said, congratulations and well deserved. And we wish you nothing but the best moving forward in your future endeavors, Dusty Baker. You are definitely a future Hall of Fame, nonetheless. We thank you for everything you have given and done in the Major League Baseball community and for your career, nonetheless. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, more Major League Baseball news to follow here. Shohei Ohtani announced he had surgery. He will be able. Now the question is, will he be able to pitch and hit in 2024? Let's get right to it. The Japanese two-way star Shohei Ohtani was in the middle of the best year so far in his major league career when he injured his elbow on August 3rd during a start against the Seattle Mariners. He didn't pitch again during the season, and he stopped playing altogether in the month of September, fearing that he will be needing a second Tommy John surgery. This surgery couldn't have come at a worse time for Ohtani, as he was in the middle of a contract year and in a MVP caliber season. However, not all hopes are lost, as he most surely will be back on the field in one way or the other for the 2024 season. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about England and their World Cup situation. England is on the brink of a World Cup exit after heavy loss to Sri Lanka, as it happened. Matthew Mont, England's Australian coach, finds himself losing to an English coach for the second time in this tournament. First, it was Jonathan Trout with Afghanistan. Now it's Chris Silverwood with Sri Lanka. Mont, to his credit, comes out and faces the cameras. In his quotes, "We unfortunately saved our worst form for this World Cup," he says. And then in quotes, "Everyone feels like they've let a lot of people down." Asked if England have more than a mathematical chance, he demurs in his quotes, "Realistically, we're in a bit of trouble." He could say that again. But then he has won a World Cup with England, the T21, this time last year in Australia. He, like most of the players, has plenty of credit in the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for this week. I will see you on next Friday's recorded podcast. Till then, hit the like button, subscribe, share it out, let everybody know what Worldwide Sport Updates is all about when you search us on youtube.com, WWSUP by Joey, for your daily sports updates that you may have missed. We're always here and dedicated and committed to give you the research and current up-to-date information for your sports news that you may have missed. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joseph Hadid, your host for Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. Stay blessed, sports family. Have yourself a great weekend, and we will interact next week. Bye-bye for now.